You just gave 3 answers to the same question.
I couldn't be on either end of the camera. I don't even know the question. I really don't. I have no idea what he just asked me.
He can't even plug in the camera. He's so upset by it.
I'm still thinking about that little prick that ripped me off from those songs. I mean, my head's spinning. What was the question again? Would I be the jerky or the photographer?
Would you be the guy who let Jason take pictures of you with your tool in your hand if you knew you could sell them online to gay guys?
No, I wouldn't.
Thank you, Sal.
Look at the stuff.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Ralph Sorella, you're back on the wrap-up show.
Hey now.
Hi, Ralph.
Hey, I don't have a problem with Jason taking pictures. I don't think that makes him gay or anything like that. And he's just looking for a way to make money. But Jason's really a horrible photographer. Like, he doesn't take good pictures. Why would you want some guy taking bad pictures?
See, this is a bone of contention, too, because what happens is Jason takes pictures and puts them up on the website, and then Ralph usually calls in to say what horrible pictures they are. And, yeah.
Well, it's great that everyone's cutting on Jason, and Ralph found a unique way to cut on him.
Right. You're not gay, you're just bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, Jason's not there to be a photographer, so, it's not an insult to him and his talent. That's not where his talent lies.
Have you ever talked to him about how to be better at it?
Wait, Ralph, so saying Jason takes shitty pictures isn't an insult because that's not his day job? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, he's not a photographer.
First of all, saying I take shitty pictures.
He doesn't have a good eye. He doesn't have a good eye for taking pictures. I mean,
I take horrible pictures. Like every picture on the website, they're horrible. Artie's next book cover is going to be one of my pictures. You
calm
bastard.
down, Jason. Because it's supposed to be funny and stupid and not look good. If it was supposed to look good, then he would have hire professional photographer.
Get another job. We don't do good enough.
Jason takes 20 pictures of a hot chick, and sometimes I go over Howard's house, and when I'm not goofing on Gary, I'll say, "Hey, who was that chick in this morning?" And Howard goes, "Oh yeah, she was kind of hot. Let me show you some pictures." And he opens up an email, and it's got 20 pictures, and he's like, "I don't know, man. She looked good in the studio."
Jace, do you take offense to this?
No, not really. I don't care. I mean, listen, A, he's right. I'm not a photographer. I never went to photography school or had class or anything in it. B, I have about a minute and a half to take pictures in the studio after a chick's been in there. And C, I do think a lot of the pictures I take end up being really good.
Well, if you take he's much better with Dick.
If you take 50 pictures, one might be good. But yeah, you should.
Yeah, well, that's called being a photojournalist, Ralph, and that's how I classify myself.
But Ralph, can you give Jason any advice on how? Like, have you ever spoken to him off the air?
I have. I spent the afternoon with him one day, tried to show him how to take better pictures of Howard and stuff. So
we set up Howard's shot, and now that's where I take pictures of Howard.
And now what?
I took your advice. It was good advice.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying you don't take advice. I'm just saying you're not. I don't think this is your thing.
No, well, I'm not going to open up a photography school after I'm done here. No.
You should be the website administrator and just get some photographer that takes gay pictures of him. Kevin, why won't you do that?
What? Oh, Kevin.
What, you mean pose naked?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to disappoint my family that much.
Hey, it's John Hine, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show, Ganji stopped by to attempt to explain the code of men, and frankly, none of us understand what the hell he's saying.
Matt in Long Island, you're on the wrap-up show.
Did you say Matt?
Yes, I did.
I wanted to talk about Ganji, that fucking loser.
Okay, what about him?
What's this man rule? How come I never heard about this rule?
The code of men?
Yeah, I mean, what is that gay shit?
Well, which code of men, Ganji's or Howard's?
Ganji's. I mean, is he serious?
Had you guys heard that?
Well, what
Ganji's code of men?
What was
speech?
his code?
Something like, I don't know, 6 months he has to try and to get this girl to date him, and if she don't like him, then Artie's allowed to try.
Yeah, Ganji likened it to a slow burn, I believe he said.
See, the problem is there's a code of men, but there's no universal code of men. So every guy has their own code, and that's a problem because they're not
the code.
What's that?
That's not the code, though. I got to say.
I mean, the only code,
like you don't fuck some guy's wife.
Exactly.
So,
the code I know is you don't fuck a guy's wife. Even if a guy breaks up with a girl, you still don't date her if she's your friend. 2 guys never share an umbrella. Like, that's the code of man.
I thought it was like, if I can get laid, I'm doing it.
But really, see,
I mean, Artie goes and he brings this girl to Letterman, and that's a big thing. He could have brought 50 other girls, and he brings her, and fucking Ganji, he's a cockblock.
Well, but Ganji could make the argument. You're right. He could have brought 50 girls. Why did it have to be that one?
And Matt, you could talk to the man himself right now. Ganji, a lot of people are getting on you for your code of men and saying it's bullshit.
Why is it bullshit, Matt?
Because who are you to her? You're a nobody to her. So what do you mark your territory? I mean,
no, I was nobody to her, but
I pissed all over her.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was nobody to her, but I was putting the moves on first. So listen.
What
moves did you put on?
No, hey, listen, Matt. So this is how the scenario works out, right? You like a girl. You're trying to get something going. And
who, by the way, is living with a boyfriend.
Doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter. Just listen to the scenario. You like a girl. Who cares if she has a boyfriend? So you're saying you like a girl, whether or not she has a boyfriend, and your buddy comes in and goes, "Hey, I'm going to take her out. I have more money than you. I'm just going to take her out." You're cool with that?
In the situation that you're in right now, yes.
Why? What situation am I in?
You are nothing to. So you like her. So that means every girl that you like.
Put yourself in the same.
To any other guy.
So put yourself in the same situation. You like a girl, and one of your buddies comes in and swoops her and tries to swoop her up. You cool?
You know what?
You good with that? You good with your friend?
Isn't that sort of what you were doing to this girl's boyfriend?
Are you good? Are you good? It doesn't matter about the boyfriend. I don't know. I'm not friends with the boyfriend.
But don't you agree that the rules are a little bit different here because it's an on-air thing?
No, they shouldn't be. I mean, they shouldn't be. It's the same thing, dude. If anyone in this room who I considered a friend told me in any way, shape, or form they were interested in a girl, I don't care if she came over to me and said, "I hate Gary. He's the ugliest guy in the world. I love you." I wouldn't give a shit because you're my friend.
Stop talking about Mary.
No, but you know what I mean? Like my loyalty is to my friend, and there'll always be another girl. I'm not going to fuck over my friend, but to hook up and.
I get what you're saying, but don't you think like nobody knew that you had this attitude before it all unfolded on the air?
Yeah,
and they're doing a bit like if Artie would have known this whole thing off the air. It probably would have never went down the way it went down.
It definitely wouldn't have. Already said that.
But what I'm saying is the time span that it all happened was 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So from the time
But it all happened on the air.
Absolutely.
That's why I think it's a little bit different.
But every
go ahead, Ben.
Sorry, every Howard TV chick that comes in, you're going to have a chance to lay claim to first.
I guess, maybe, yeah. I don't know. No, because I don't deal with every single one of them.
Can you lay claim to more than one girl at a time?
Yeah, is it like Disney? Can you only do the Fast Pass for one ride, and then you have to go on it before you can do Fast Pass again?
Where does that fit in the code, Ganj?
I wouldn't lay claim to more than one girl at a time.
Do you? Do you currently have a claim to anyone?
No.
You really don't.
No claims to anyone. No.
But what about the time that passes? Like, how much time needs to pass before this girl becomes free game anymore? Like, you say you like her.
Free game to anybody in the world, or free game to my buddies?
Either or.
Free game to my buddies is, hey, you come, you go. All right, I've already established that I liked her. Gary comes over to me and says, hey, dude, I really like her. Can I try? And then it's fine because we had a conversation.
But how much time do you think is appropriate to pass before Gary has that conversation with you?
A little time, just a little time. I don't know what that is. A little time. And Howard
Until
keeps
Ganji's
making
over
it. And Howard keeps making it like it's 6 months. It was no way in shape or form 6 months. It's at best 2 months. At best, which is still bad, but it's not as bad as 6.
Do you still have claim to this chick?
No, I have no claim.
So
my
anyone
boyfriend
here,
has claim.
like you wouldn't mind if anyone here really went for her?
No, Betcha, you can go for her.
I got a question.
What
for
about
you.
your ex-girlfriend?
That I have claim for, and I'd have a big issue.
How much
with.
time?
You
guys were together so long that there's no the time.
I'd have a big issue forever.
Chris in Long Island, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, good morning, guys. You guys are making it like too complex. Like Ganji's argument is terrible. That's what you do in 5th grade. She's mine. I liked her. Like you just can't do that. This is so stupid.
All right, so simplify it for us, Chris.
Well, I don't know. Like what happened now? Like Artie just took her out. Went to Letterman. Like Ganji, who are you? You're fat. You're ugly.
What does that have to do with anything? So is Artie.
A lot.
Okay, what is your point there? That was the stupidest point ever.
Well, shut up. You're making it complex. Like you guys are making all these like different analogies or whatever.
No, we're asking Ganji what the rules are. The Ganji's throwing it back at you and saying, "Well, what is the rule? What's the code?"
Yeah,
you're saying Ganji.
It varies. Like it's survival of the fittest. Like you can't just.
So Ganji has no right to be pissed off at Artie.
No, not at all.
All right, so let me see your girlfriend. Maybe I'll steal it from you.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, what's his name?
All right, thank you, Chris. Let's go to Jay in Michigan. Jay, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, Gans, man, what a pussy you are, dude. You should have shot your move on this chick a long time ago.
I agree with you.
So, you know, what's the deal? I mean, you knew she had a boyfriend. I mean, you should have just got her to give it up. If she wasn't going to give it up, then leave her alone.
Well, I think going into it, none of us had a chance, personally. So I think you
Well,
know,
you can't be mad at
knowing
Artie.
that.
You know, she's free game. She's fair game for everyone.
Hey,
okay.
Ganj, if the girl makes it clear to you that you don't have a shot,
Yeah, then it's
then
yeah.
the other guy should be allowed to do
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because you did that to me once. But
I did?
Yeah.
What I do?
What happened? Do tell.
What did I do?
There was a girl.
Yeah.
That Benji
There's
liked.
been lots of girls I like that you.
That Benji liked.
Yeah.
So
And then Ganji went
Ganji
after-
was aware that you liked them.
Yes.
And Ganji
Oh,
went after
I-
them anyway.
Yes.
No, because that was.
Uh-oh.
I know the person. I know what you're talking about, and we both started that around the same time. I mean, exactly the same time.
Okay.
You know.
So Benji,
But you were you wouldn't say you liked the person ever.
But everybody knew he did.
Yeah, but it was like, no, she's just a friend. No, she's just a friend. So in that case, if you've never said you
It's
liked
Doug's
them,
wife, so everyone.
But Ganj, did you know that Benji was sort of?
I would ask.
Forget
and
they didn't say it because
I would
Gary said
always-
everyone kind of
I would
understood
always
it.
ask, and he would always say, "No, we're just friends."
I don't believe that.
So no, absolutely. You said it for years and years and years. Till just recently are you finally admitting that you liked her? For years you said no, you never did. So I mean, what am I going to do? I mean, if he said at any point yes, then I would have backed off totally.
He didn't get anywhere with her. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't get anywhere. Anyway.
That's the part I wanted to hear.
He ended up in bed with her. That's what, and they cuddled, and that was it.
Hey, it's Sal, and on Wednesday's wrap-up show, I came in here to explain my love of pee videos. And, of course, once again, nobody agreed with me, so make up your own minds. Check it out.
Congratulations on your song today. That went over very well.
Thank you.
And then you went in and talked about how you love when women get pissed on.
Well, you know, we all have our things.
You like the whole degradation thing, though, right? I mean,
it's hard to explain. I like that. I love that a woman would be willing to submit herself to that because, to me, that's a girl who is the dirtiest, filthiest pig you can find, and
right,
that's
a girl who likes to be degraded.
Yeah, a girl who likes it.
But Sal, I think he's making a point. It's not that she's willing to go that far if it pleases Sal. That's
right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
It's like a girl is willing to go to that level. Is she really that crazy and psychotic and horny, or is she doing it simply for the pleasure of her partner?
So which one turns you on?
Both.
and let me ask you a question. If you were single and you had a girl and she said, please piss on me and stick my head in the toilet, that would turn you on, but is that somebody that you want to bring home?
Or would you rather just watch?
I'm a spectator. You know, to me, it's a spectator sport.
See,
I can't. To me, if I had to pee on somebody, it takes too much work. You know, you got to get them in the tub. You got to make sure it doesn't smell when she's done. And then you don't know, I'm not going to kiss her after I peed in her face, and I'm not going to want to touch her hair or have her lay down on my bed, wake up with yellow streaks all over my pillowcases. So
very well thought out, by the way, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I remember, like, for me, you really hit the creep factor about 3 months ago, like well into the red, when you told me about your favorite porn clip of all time, which is that guy Rocco, who, what's Rocco's last name again?
Safridi.
Rocco Safridi. So he does these movies where he smacks girls around anyway, which is really creepy to start with.
Yeah, I don't like the smacking.
But the one that he's talking about is Rocco's doing this girl from behind, and he just picks her up and runs into the bathroom, and while he's still having sex with her, he starts sticking her head in the toilet.
It's great because his dick is still wedged into her twat, and he manages to pick her up and run with her like a football.
This is Savannah Rocco, right?
Yeah.
And
But I remember, like, I watched the clip and I go, "Wow!" I guess it's almost like when people say that they're into like rubber and bondage and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I watch those clips and I go, "I don't know, just I don't get it."
Yeah.
And I didn't get where the turn on was for a girl to have her head jammed in a toilet.
Me neither until I saw it. I swear. But I'm the guy watching. How about the girl who's actually doing it? You know what I mean? That's a lot worse than the person watching.
Don't deflect. She got paid.
That's true.
Yeah.
John in Michigan, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, Sal, what's up, man?
Hey, baby.
Hey, if you and your wife actually got divorced, and you're talking about all this stuff about how you like to watch the videos about girls getting pissed on and all that type of stuff,
Yeah.
if you and your wife actually got divorced, would you actually want to date a girl like that, dude?
No, but I wouldn't mind. Like I said, It's just convenient and simple to watch it on video. You know what I mean?
Sal just sort of answered that, I think, too.
Yeah. I mean, if you're watching the Hulk, you don't want to be actually on, you don't want it to be a live event. You don't want to be on that street when he's smashing cars and flinging them at buildings, as exciting as that might seem. It's just much more convenient to watch it and enjoy it from an entertainer's perspective.
Do you guys really
hold on. The girl that's getting pissed on, she's an entertainer?
She entertains me. It's adult entertainment.
Do you guys really think it's that big of a deal?
No, they're making that.
No, it's gross.
I went to a bar with 6 guys a few weeks ago. Irish Times, great place out in Holbrook. And I'm hanging out with 6 guys, and they were telling me how they were talking about pee videos, how they jack off to pee videos. And one dude goes, "That's disgusting." And all 6 guys looked at him like he was a homo. It's almost like they outed him from the group because one dude thought jerking off to pee videos was wrong.
So based on your 6 guys at the Irish pub in Holbrook,
Irish Times,
you've now decided that's your straw poll. That because I heard you say today that the peeing thing is very big with guys now.
It is from at least the people I meet.
Yeah, the 5 guys you met at this pub.
So that's where statistically speaking comes from? That's your sample size?
No, I go to MovieMonster.com, and I've noticed that the piss videos have increased tremendously. The volume.
Probably based on your viewing.
Maybe, I don't know, but
pee is what shit was in the 90s.
The catalog of pee has gone up tremendously on that website. So I'm assuming it's a big market.
Listen, if you absolutely love a girl, and she's like if your wife said to you, "Listen, I've always been embarrassed to tell you, but it turns me on to be peed on."
Right.
Would it really freak you out that much?
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to think that I knew the person that I married didn't like to be peed on.
And would that end it?
No, I'm just not going to pee on her.
Well, Gary, you like teen anal. But you do. I mean, I'd rather have a 40-year-old woman pee on a 40-year-old woman rather than jacking off to somebody who was where it's borderline pedophilia.
It's not borderline. First of all,
teen anal. What? 13?
No.
14?
You know what the girls are in those videos? They're 30-year-old girls wearing plaid skirts.
Keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. They're I'm watching underage porn. That's
I don't know, but Gary, but that's what you're imagining. You're imagining teens.
I don't know that I'm imagining 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds.
Well, 13, that
teens could be 19.
I know, but I'm saying, okay, but that's your fetish, and I respect that.
It's not my big fetish, by the way.
Teen anal.
I joked around that I watched it a couple of times. It's not what I live for.
I don't live for pee videos
Oh,
either.
yes, you do.
No, they're just part of my repertoire.
Listen, I don't go to like some teen something website, but you live on pissmops.com, which is a peeing website.
All right, let's talk to Tom in Tempe. Hey, Tom.
I don't get it.
Hey, guys. Sal is like a car wreck. You know, you don't want to really see it or hear it, but you got to look at it. You're a mess, dude. But hey, whatever floats your boat.
I don't get it. If I go to a comedy show this weekend, I'll have 17 guys at the bar saying how much they love pee videos. It's just something. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm the only idiot that's saying this on the air, and every guy right now driving his car is saying, "Sure, I've jerked off to a pee video here or there." And I'm completely right. And I'm only guilty of being honest.
Do you believe that? Do you think everyone driving around is saying, "Yeah, of
Not
course"?
everyone, but I'm saying that.
What percentage would you say?
1.
All right, let me ask you, Tom from Tempe.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a pee video and enjoyed it?
I've never actually seen a pee video. No.
All right. I'm saying he's lying, and I'm saying 85% of the men who listen to the show probably have done it.
What, have watched it and enjoy it?
Maybe not. I would say 85% have seen a pee video. I would say 65% have probably masturbated to one.
You totally just made that number while we were talking. You remind me you like in the Manchurian Candidate. 57 people are in the Communist Party. You just make shit up as you go along.
It's my assumption. I'm not making it up. I'm guesstimating. Guesstimation.
Even when you're doing the whole rap about being at the comedy club and 17 guys are coming to talk to you about it, crunch the numbers. How many people do you think are in the club? 200? 250? So if 250 in the club, 17 came up to you. What's the percentage of that?
Okay, 10%. That's the only 17 that are willing to talk to me.
No. And how many of them you think are coming to talk to you to make it sound like they, you know?
Well, it's their cup of tea. If you're listening to the Howard Stern show, you don't care. You're not necessarily. You don't give a shit about what Judd Apatow is doing, or that's a very, very bad example. I'm saying if you're listening to the Howard Stern show, you don't necessarily care about Paris Hilton or these awful things that you have to talk about. It
has nothing to do with this.
Are you assuming that, or are you making that up?
No, I'm saying that it's more the nature of Howard Stern. Howard Stern's been playing piss videos for years over the air. The German
most of them are contributed by you.
The gag factor videos, the pussy fart videos. It's entertaining, and I think that's what the fans like to a certain degree. So we have a common bond when I go to the shows.
Again, I think that there's no way to know what the number of people who are into urinating videos are. I think that you're making up a number. And I also think if somebody comes to you and said, I heard that clip on the show, it made me laugh, doesn't mean that they're sexually aroused by it.
And I agree.
Is Richard into piss videos?
He's seen some, but he doesn't get off on it. But he would be the 85% that is viewed. He's not the 65% that have enjoyed themselves.
Right. John, in your 80 BJs, no chick ever asked you to pee on her?
No, and it wasn't 80.
I've never even been close to the whole peeing thing. I don't think I've ever known somebody that wanted it done, and I don't think I've ever wanted to do it.
Look to your left.
Or look on Greg's list.
Greg's list?
Craigslist.
What's up, guys? It's Teddy on Thursday's wrap-up show. The slumbering giant that is Artie Lang was arisen. We woke him up to discuss his little nap during the Carly Simon interview that he missed. So check it out.
And a gentleman who just recently awoke and taped something for Channel 9 now joins us, the great Artie Lang. Are you well rested, Artie?
Yeah, God, I wish you guys would have woke me up. I woke up and I was crazed. I was like, whoa, who won the gossip game? What was the fake story?
Artie, how long do you think you could have gone if someone didn't get you up?
Oh my!
Were you like out?
I'm going to go home now and sleep till I fly to Dallas tomorrow at noon.
But were you out when they woke you up?
I was out.
And you didn't hear anybody stirring around outside or anything? Because people were like going in and out. And
no, after a few minutes, I was gone. That's a comfortable leather chair in there.
Yeah, that's where I usually sleep when I'm taking a nap during the day.
Yeah, but what's the germ?
I don't know.
Count on that thing. I mean,
I got to tell you, you know what? All jokes aside, rare instances I need to take a nap when I have to do something in the city. Maybe I sleep in there like once every 4 months.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my own sheets and my own pillow.
I'll
put them in my closet.
I think I'm going to have to carry full sheets and pillow for this. The next time I do this bit.
Now, you kicked Kathy Griffin out of there, right? Is that what happened?
That was so much fun.
She was mad at me, too.
Oh,
she goes, are you throwing me out? I want to watch Carly Simon. And I said, I've got a monitor in my office. She goes, yeah, and I got a fucking Emmy.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, tell her this, to buy a radio and listen to the replay this afternoon.
Well, she goes to me, is Artie okay? I'm like, yeah, he's tired. No, is he okay? I'm like, he's fine. He's just a little bit tired.
John, don't lie to Kathy Griffin for me.
Hey, anything for you, Artie. You know that.
No, that was funny because I was just like, yeah, get out.
You weren't going to crash on the floor when Carly Simon came in? You thought that might be a bit distracting?
That would have been hilarious. You see, the best part about this is how much Howard genuinely laughs at the fact of how big of a mess I am. He was laughing so hard when that song, as I was walking out, first of all, that song kills me. My favorite Artie song is His Name is Artie. That was playing because it just makes me seem like such a buffoon. And I heard that playing on the air, and that was making me laugh. And like Howard's face was red with laughter, but listen. I really needed sleep. What was I going to do? He was trying to decide between how funny it would be for me to be laying there and would it insult Carly Simon.
And you know what?
He was playing that in his head, and I think he figured out to get her mad.
And you have you heard anything about the Carly interview?
No.
It ended up being unbelievable. If you were in there, it probably would have wrecked what was a really amazing interview.
Oh, sorry, Gary.
No, just saying. I'm saying he made the right call. I'm saying he made the right call. But you haven't heard anything about the interview?
What have I wrecked in the past?
No. Artie, I didn't mean to insult you there.
The Luke Wilson interview with.
You mean if he was sleeping, she wouldn't have opened up as much?
Yeah, Gary, you don't see how it's insulting saying if Artie was in there, the interview wouldn't have been that great.
No, not if he were in there. If he were in there sleeping.
Oh, well,
that's what I meant. If you were. Oh, I'm sorry. I've said if you were laying on the.
I'm kidding. All right.
If you were laying down there sleeping, she wouldn't have opened up.
What did she say?
Well, her and James Taylor have not spoken to each other in 26 years.
Wow.
And it's really uncomfortable, and she really wanted to talk about it. And then Ben, her son, who was in the band, they talked about how how weird it is for them. And they were both talking to Howard. They wouldn't talk to each other, but they were talking to each other through Howard.
Wait, so they're not? They have issues too? Her and the kid?
Carly and Ben talk to each other, but she doesn't know how to get a hold of James. She has no way to get a hold of him, and she thinks it's weird. She wants to communicate with James, but he won't talk to her. But she'll never talk to Ben about it.
26 years.
26 years.
And he has a regular relationship with the both of them, the kid?
That's right.
Carly talked about going to their daughter's wedding, and since it was James Taylor's house, she had to use the porta potty. Like, she couldn't get anywhere near him or the kids. I mean, it's bad.
Who's the Vane song about? Did you get that?
She told Howard.
She told Howard.
She did?
She did. She told Howard he won't tell anybody, but we'll try to get it out of him.
Oh, he's going to tell Robin in a week, apparently.
Yeah.
As long as she agrees not to tell Florentine.
Wow.
Yeah, because then Florentine could tell us on the USO tour.
Why do I hate that I care about it?
Ryan in Philly, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Ryan.
What's up, Artie?
Hey, man.
Hey, real quick, you noticed that when Artie was falling asleep, it seemed like Robin, jumped right on it and called him out that he was sleeping on the past few days. And I bet you if Robin had her choice, that Artie might not even be on the show. It seems like she's very annoyed about that. What do you think?
Robin, I think it's interesting, the dynamic between me and Robin. Robin gets annoyed with me sometimes. I don't think because she doesn't like me. I think because she's just annoyed that, I treat myself so badly, maybe. I don't know. And
right.
She's, the healthiest person in the world now.
Like you guys are polar opposites? I mean...
Well, yeah, but yeah, I noticed that too, man. I mean, you're right. It was like, oh my God, it's been every day now. It's like a teacher yelling at you. Yeah, he fell asleep yesterday, and this is ridiculous. So,
well, keep sleeping, Artie. I think it's hilarious. It's great.
Well, look, this is a character I pitched years ago. They wouldn't let me do it.
Eric in Mount Vernon, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Eric.
I just wanted to grill Artie a little bit. I'm like that crazy bitch that was on earlier. I'm also a recovering addict. I wanted to see maybe you guys. I know you got some cameras in there. I've never seen Howard 100, but maybe you could get a zoom in close up on Artie's pupils, or if he's bringing in some chocolate bars, or if he's drooling on himself, nodding out.
Yeah, that'll be great. Can we do that?
Wearing long sleeves. I mean, give him some sort of check over. Because it would be nice if the sleeping thing was preconceived, then it'd feel like at least we're being entertained because Artie's an entertainer. But I sort of feel like, maybe I'm being entertained because Artie's secretly, shooting the smack.
Artie, anything you'd like to tell Eric from Mount Vernon?
As long as you're entertained, dude. I mean, what does it matter? You're laughing at me or with me. I agree I'm not the healthiest guy right now. I could use a few sit-ups. I don't know. I should join some sort of gym. But right now, I'm just having fun, man. Just drinking beers, smoking weed, snorting H. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Eating cheeseburgers.
So you're prepared for your big overseas trip?
Yeah, man. I'm starting to get worried about that. By the way, I don't think I'm going to make it. My will is in order. Teddy's getting nothing.
I'm really excited to be down here on the Stern Show. We're going to talk about my book today, hang out a little bit, and shoot the shit with Howard.
Are you excited to be on?
Oh, yeah. It's
Big
fantastic. I listen to him all the time. He is the king of satellite radio,
I'm excited. Don Felder's here. He just wrote a book about what it's like to be in the Eagles and then get your ass kicked out of there. Yeah. That's got to be a come down. Pretty amazing story, actually, and I'm very curious about it. There's the guy right there.
Yep, there he is.
There he is. That's the guy. In person. How you doing,
but
man?
Maybe it's good to be able to get the Eagles money without having to be an Eagle.
Hey, that's the idea.
There you go. Now
it's a wonderful thing.
Now you're talking.
It's a lovely, lovely thing.
Well, a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, too. I was actually doing a radio interview up in Calgary a couple of weeks ago with a guy that's a huge kind of radio talk show host up there.
Right.
And he says, when you see Howard, tell him he is definitely the king of
that's
satellite
nice.
radio.
That's nice.
And
What's that guy's name? Do you even
His
remember?
name is Dave Rutherford.
Dave. Well, thanks, Dave. That's nice to say.
Yeah, absolutely right. So
You know, the one thing before we get into the outrageous history of you and the Eagles, I love that video. They showed still on VH1 every once in a while, where of course it's the live Hotel California, and you and Joe Walsh are standing there like rock gods.
Sure.
And you're playing that duet, you know, the instrumental part, and you kind of lean into Joe during that, and you tell him something that cracks him up during it because he starts laughing. And I always love when musicians talk to each other on stage. It's kind of cool.
You wonder what they're talking about.
I've heard you reveal this, but maybe now you'll do that for my audience. What do you lean in and say to Joe Walsh to cause him to laugh during Hotel California?
Back in those days, we used to do a lot of drugs, and people would walk around with reminiscence glistening on the tips of their nose. And so if you had that on your face, somebody would say, "Hey, you're showing."
Right.
So we're in the middle of filming this. This is pre-VH1 and pre-MTV, and we're actually filming this so we can send it over to Japan and Europe and whatnot, so people can see what this is about, which was the way you promoted stuff before you got on MTV.
Sure.
So in the middle of filming this, I just lean over to Joe in the middle of that solo and go, "You're showing."
He had a big Coke booger, didn't he?
He did.
He did.
He didn't really. It was just a joke.
And Joe laughs, of course. So
Joe.
there is the secret. There it is. That is what it's revealed.
You know, that story's cooler than I thought it would be. That's great.
Artie needs Coke now. You were a member of the Eagles from 74 to 80, and I didn't even realize you weren't an original member of the Eagles. They brought you in to, I think, kind of rock things up and cool it up a little bit, because the Eagles were more like a country band almost. And then they brought you in, right? You were the guy they figured could make them rock and roll.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, they were playing, you know, Take It Easy and Peaceful Easy Feeling and those sort of songs.
Yeah.
Great songs, but really kind of country oriented. And AM radio in the 70s, you had to have a special format. It had to be 3 minutes long. You had to have an intro that was under 30 seconds so the DJs didn't have a long time to talk before the singing started. And everything that was on the radio was either rock and roll or R&B.
So it was very calculated on the part of the Eagles. And when I say the part of the Eagles, I mean, you know, Frey and Henley.
Fry and Henley.
It was really sort of brilliant on their part to say, we need a guy who can make us even more acceptable to the rock and roll world. It'll make us a bigger band.
That's exactly
so it was
right.
smart to bring you in.
Now, how did they find you? I mean, why you?
Hey, why you and not
I keep
me?
asking myself that question every day. Why me?
Why you?
Well, you know, one of the guys that was in the band, original member, was a guy named Bernie Ledden, and he was a brilliant guitar player. If you listen to the first couple of records, he was a brilliant bluegrass and electric country music guitar player.
Right.
And Bernie and I were actually high school friends when we were 15 and 16 and had a band together in Gainesville, Florida, where we grew up.
Right.
And Bernie left Gainesville and moved back to California and was in the Flying Burrito Brothers and a few other bands, and finally wound up in the Eagles. And so when he would come around to different cities that I was in, we'd get together and I'd go backstage and hang out and play with them and just say hello.
Right.
And I wound up seeing them in Boston, I think at Boston University or something, in '71 when they were opening for the Yes.
Right.
So they were just starting out at the time. I went back and saw Bernie and my buddy and hung out, and we played backstage, and Glenn and everybody was there and kind of saw me and went, wow, that's great. And Bernie kept calling me to get me to move out to L.A. He said, the music business isn't happening in New York. It's not in Boston. It's in California. And in those days, in the 70s, it really was. That was the California sound. So eventually I took his advice and moved out to L.A. in my U-Haul trailer and my 65 Volvo, and got a couple of jobs out there working for Crosby Nash, being Stephen Stills, playing.
So you were really connected. I mean, you knew a lot of guys. You knew Crosby, you knew Nash, you knew you knew a lot of the big acts, right?
I did. You know, it was funny before I met Bernie, the guy that was in my band in Gainesville was Stephen Stills when we were 14 and 15 years old.
Wow.
We had a little band
How did
together.
you know Stephen Stills? I mean, I think he's a genius, Stephen Stills. Am I right on that?
Yeah, oh no, absolutely.
You met him when you were 14. And didn't you hang out with the Allman Brothers when you were a kid? How do you know all these
Where
guys?
were you? You're like the Zelig of music.
I was in the shittiest part of town.
Nobody was where you were.
No one hung out where I was.
Well, it was Gainesville, Florida. I don't know if there was something in the water or what we were smoking in those days, but everybody kind of wound up being friends together.
Isn't Tom Petty from there?
Yeah, he was one of my guitar students. I taught him early on.
Wow. You taught Tom Petty how to play guitar?
Yeah.
Does he thank you every day for that?
Well, I think he mentions it in his articles now and then. It was so funny.
Every time he gets laid, he should thank you. I mean, come on. Another brilliant guy that you hung out with. Wow. You taught Tom Petty how to play guitar. You mean he took guitar lessons from you?
He took guitar lessons from me.
He paid you to teach him how to...
Exactly. Yeah.
No kidding. Was he a brilliant student? Did you say to yourself, geez, this is some kid?
No, he wasn't a great guitar player, but he was fantastic on stage. He had this charisma. He had this long, straight blonde hair, and he'd flip his hair and shake his hair.
Yeah, but did you ever say to yourself, here you were, I guess you're older than him, that you were his guitar teacher.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Did you ever say to yourself, gee, maybe I ought to hook up with this kid and start a band with him?
No, I had my own band. I was working with Stills. He was a couple of years younger than me, so, you know, he was still a skinny, kind of buck teeth, scraggly hair.
Wow.
Well, now that I think about it, he still looks like that.
I was going to say, you're describing him now.
I mean, how much did you charge Tom Petty for a guitar
I think
lesson?
it was $3 an hour.
$3 an hour.
But I didn't. I was working.
I was going to say, what do you charge today? I mean, inflation.
I was working at this music store, and I didn't really get paid cash. I got paid credit on the store account, and I would save up my money so I could buy strings or chords or a guitar or something like that.
Did you ever imagine that you would be something bigger than a guitar teacher? I mean, it's such a lucky business, right?
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's crazy.
I've been so blessed to be able to come from such humble means where I grew up on a little dirt road in the palmetto fields of North Florida.
Imagine if you said to Tom Petty when you would teach him, you said, listen, schmuck, I'm not going to charge you. You just give me 1% of your career if you ever take one.
I should send him that. Say, you know, I'm entitled a percentage of what you make because I started you off.
How many years did you teach him?
Well, I was there for about a year and a half or 2 years in town before I left.
No kidding.
Yeah, once Bernie left, I put together another band and actually moved to New York and worked here in New York. Lived down on Horatio Street when it was actually the meatpacking district before it was so cool.
Did you have credentials as a guitar teacher? In other words, were you're able to read music and you're able?
I taught myself.
You taught yourself all that.
I exchanged lessons in this other school of music. This guy named Paul Hillis had gone to the Berklee College of Music and came back to Gainesville and opened this little music school. And so he taught me to read, taught me music theory, composition, and that sort of stuff. So every hour that I would teach his guitar students, he would teach me music and theory. So it was because I had no money. I couldn't pay for anything.
Of course not. You were hanging out with Stills, and you were hanging out with these guys, Allman Brothers, all these guys.
Yeah.
And yet, the Eagles are the ones that figure out, let's put this guy in our band.
Sure.
I mean, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And they figured that out. Why? What had you done that was so remarkable to them that said, man, this is the guy that can make us go to the next level?
Well, every time they would be at rehearsal out in L.A. when I was in town, if I wasn't out on the road working with somebody, I would go in and just hang out at their rehearsals, sit in and jam with them and play with them. And
so you helped them write music?
No, I didn't help them write music then. We would just jam. Just jam. Kick around and have a good time and kind of get off.
This guy's got the right vibe for it.
Yeah, and we were exciting, and, it was just fun.
And they offer you a full partnership in the Eagles.
That's
in other
correct.
Words, you were a full partner. When I say that, some bands, let's say, have one or two guys who write the songs and stuff, and then they have members who don't get a full partnership. They get paid well, but they're employees.
Correct.
But you were a full working partner.
Yeah.
Like you signed a contract with them. And
That's
you said,
right.
Look, I'm a full-fledged member. If they hadn't made you a full-fledged member, would you have backed out and said, this is probably not for me?
Well, no, at the time I received the offer to come in and play on this session, I just went in to play with a bunch of friends of mine in the studio, and I played slide guitar on this song called Good Day in Hell.
Right.
And I got a call the next day asking me to join the band. And I, at the time, was actually being Stephen Stills with Crosby Nash. I was playing Stephen's parts, ironically enough, with that band. And my wife was pregnant with our first kid. And
so you were a married man with a pregnant wife, and things were about to really change in your life. You're about to be a member of the Eagles.
Yeah.
Did you go berserk when you became an Eagle? Did you cheat on your wife? Did you have multiple sex partners? Did you constantly bang?
They gave him those with the contract.
Yeah, that all came with the territory. Yes,
really? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was raised, like I said, in very humble means in the South. I was dragged into church, into Sunday school from the time I was old enough to remember with my mother, and had a really religious upbringing. And then when I joined the Eagles, I was drugged into sin and all sorts of promiscuity. My whole life and everything changed.
Did you become a drug addict?
I wasn't addicted to drugs.
Right.
I did more than my fair share.
What was your thing? Coke?
Coke, yeah, absolutely.
No
I was,
heroin?
No, I never did heroin.
No, just
I didn't
Coke
like
and
pot a whole
No,
lot. No,
just Coke.
Just Coke, and I
Coke
drank
was
a little Remy Martin to take the edge off, But other than that,
The band was fueled by Coke back then,
yeah,
right?
everybody was. Yeah, doctors, lawyers, musicians.
Everybody was high.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, you even say in your new book that you hung out with Keith Richards a lot, and you found him. You thought he was dead in a room, right? But then it turned out you saw him on stage that night and he was alive. But you
I was going to say, please tell me he really doesn't take drugs. That's an act.
You literally thought he was dead, right?
Well, yeah. All I saw was a foot sticking out of his bathroom
Wow.
in his bedroom there, and I this kind of pale gray glow about him, and I went, oh no, I hope I haven't been the one that discovered him.
Yeah, you don't want to go down.
Yeah.
What were the circumstances? A party or something, or pre-show?
It was after show, post show. Yeah, and we were in Kansas City. As a matter of fact, we weren't playing with them or opening for them or anything. We just happened to be. They were playing one night in Kansas City Stadium, in the Chiefs Stadium, and then we were playing some other gig, and we wound up being on the same hotel where they had the top floor with all their gorillas as security, and we had our next floor down with our guys. And our road manager, Richard Fernandez, used to know and be friends with their road manager at the time, said, hey, you want to go up and meet these guys? And I went, of course. You kidding me?
Rolling Stones.
You bet. I mean, to me, that was a huge honor. This was like, 75, I guess, 76, something like that. And so we went up, and we went walking down this hallway, and the doors to the presidential suite were open at the end of the hallway, and this music was just blaring out of it. Keith used to carry this roll-around studio that had like an old reel tape recorder and an amp and a bunch of cassettes and stuff, and J.B. Lansing monitors in it. So it was just pumping coming out of his thing. And this guitar was laying down on the floor, this electric guitar just going, it was like, just playing itself. And we walked in and I went, that's kind of odd. And we started walking around with the road manager going, Keith, where are you? And we walked in the bedroom, and I turned the corner, and there was his foot sticking out of the bathroom, and we were promptly kind of whisked away.
Could you believe you went from being this poor kid to all of a sudden hanging out with Keith Richards and these bands, and you're in a huge band yourself? You must have pinched yourself. I mean, it must have been
weren't
unbelievable.
huge when you joined them.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
We were just a bunch of kids in ripped jeans and T-shirts. Our gigs, we'd drive rent-a-cars ourselves around, and we'd fly coach in the back, and we played like university campuses, and really until one of these nights, and especially when Hotel California kicked in, is where we really jumped up to stadiums.
And you wrote the song, Hotel California.
Yeah, I wrote a large part of it, yeah.
You wrote the music for it?
I wrote all the music for it, yeah.
Wow. You walked in one day and you said to the Eagles, hey, I wrote this song, Hotel California. I don't even know if you had a name for it.
Got this music.
What was the riff that was going through your head? Just the...
Well, I just remember that one day I was kind of sitting on this couch in this rental house that I had on the beach in Malibu. My youngest son was playing out in the sand.
Yep.
Kind of the California summer sun was glistening on the water. I had on a pair of cut-off shorts and was just got out of the water, and I was sitting there just playing acoustic guitar, and kind of out came that introduction, and I played it and played it and played it about 4 times, and I went, I've got to go record this before I forget it.
When you're having that, do you go to yourself, I think this is a huge moment, but you don't know.
It just sounded like a kind of a nice progression. I went back and recorded it on a tape recorder, and actually I was working on the songs for Hotel California, and I had like 15 or 16 other songs, and so I threw that idea down and went back out and jumped in the water, and then about 4 or 5 days later I came back and started listening to that reel of song ideas, and I went, I'm going to finish that one. That sounds like a good one. And I had an old Roland Rhythm Ace, which was this funky drum machine that piano players used to play in these bars, and it had a cha-cha beat and a samba and all that stuff.
And you hit the drum beat.
I found the closest one to it, and then laid down a bunch of guitars on it and played a bass part on it, and pretty much wrote almost identical what's on the record, the 76 record, with the exception of a few guitar solos on the end. So
why do guys who have a gem like you're writing probably the biggest song the Eagles ever had, why the hell do they get rid of you and throw you out of the band? Now, okay.
Because, it sounds like you were all getting along and enjoying each other at the beginning.
That was the heavenly part. The book
in the beginning
of Heaven and Hell in the book.
When's it go bad? Because when the success hits to Frey and Henley, I know Fry, whatever the fuck his name is. Fry becomes a control freak, right?
Well, what happened is when the band was first joined, even before I was in the band, when it was first formed, everybody had been sidemen behind Linda Ronstadt or behind this person. And when they got together, they said, we're going to be equal partners. We're all going to write songs. Everybody's going to sing 2 songs on the record.
It's communal.
Yeah, it's a band, you
Right.
know. It's not one guy or 2 guys and a bunch of backup musicians. And it was still going on when I joined the band, and that way we formed this company called Eagles Limited, which was a 5-way partnership that everybody owned a fifth of the band, of the name, the merchandising, the tickets, everything.
Sounds great.
Everybody's driving in the rent-a-cars, everybody's in the studio, everybody's working, everybody gets a fair
Everything's
share.
equal.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And then as time went by and the main songs that became hits were sung by Henley and Fry, they
People got
seemed to
some
feel
thoughts.
somewhat more entitled to a larger share of the proceeds and ownership and control than other people in the band.
And I know from the book that you began to look into this. You would say to the business manager, wait a second. I'm driving around in a shitbox. These guys have limousines taking them everywhere.
Is that what they did? They started doing that kind of thing?
Well, yeah, and guess what? When they're riding around a limousine, guess whose share is
Being eaten up.
being eaten up?
That's right, yeah.
That's right. So,
Well, there's an old adage in Hollywood amongst managers and in the music business that says, pay your acts enough money that they don't ask questions.
Right.
And the trouble really started around the end of the 90s when I started asking questions. I was CFO at this company.
Right.
And I was only 1/3 owner with Henley and Fry. Bernie had left and surrendered his shares back to the corporation.
That was smart.
Randy had left and surrendered his shares
What, did
back
they hold
to
a
the
gun to their heads?
No, they wanted to quit. They just wanted out. They wanted, this is awful. I want the hell out of here.
It was awful because those guys have become demons, in your opinion?
Yeah, and controlling and made work and playing music should be like a child at play. It should be fun and exuberant and exciting, and it's hard to be creative.
But, most of us try to imagine this, because being a musician and getting in a big band is so, the odds are so against you that when it happens, you think you could put up with almost anything. I mean, when you describe things were bad, you're talking about even those guys fought with each other, right?
They did, yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you watched the last 60 Minutes interview where they were on 60 Minutes, where Don and Glenn were sitting in this booth together. But wow, it was just difficult to watch them, the anger and tension and frustration and venom that those guys managed to conceal as best they can.
Those two bastards need each other.
Yeah, they do.
And yet they hate each other.
And that is why.
Why do you think they hate each other? What is it? What is the reason? I mean, they seem like 2 reasonable guys. Why do they hate each other? I mean, they're human beings. I mean, what could be... here's Gary Dell'Abate.
Well, that's why. They're human beings.
An answer, apparently.
Why do they hate each other so much? What is the dislike? What is your answer, Gary?
I read the book, so I think I have a pretty good idea of it. The band started out as 5 equal members, and everybody would write songs and contribute.
Right.
And then it just became Henley and Fry contributing songs, and everybody got less and less. But then it became really obvious that Don Henley is like a machine, like a songwriting machine, and even Fry's songs weren't good enough. And then that became the tension between the two of them.
So then it became...
That is very well said.
Yeah, your book was
amazing. You gleamed a lot from the book.
Yeah, the 2 stars, then one outshone the other.
Did you feel guilty writing the book in the sense that, gee, that's not very rock and roll? Like, okay, you keep your secrets and all your stuff to yourself, and you don't squeal on your brothers, even though they're messed up brothers or anything. Like, it's almost like a family. Did you feel...
Where did that rule get written?
I'm asking. Did you ever have any moments of doubt about writing the book?
No, really, what happened was after, in a period of 12 months, I went through a divorce from my wife, which was, we'd been together 29 years.
How much pussy were you getting, if I can be crude? I mean, was it crazy?
During your marriage.
That's fairly crude.
We know you can be crude. Don't ask that question.
Tell me, what was going on in your life? I mean, poor you. You're married. You probably said to yourself, please, Mr. Penis. I don't know what you call what do you call your penis? I don't know. Everybody.
Mr. Penis.
Mr. Penis.
Mr. Penis. You probably
good,
say, Mr. Penis, please, please, don't lead me to temptation. But it's almost impossible to resist, isn't it? I mean, the world is a candy store.
We had this organization called the Third Encore, which wasn't my idea. I wasn't in charge of it or anything. We used to go out and do our shows. We'd do 2 encores, and then during the show, we had guys that would go out in the audience and hand out these little buttons. They were like campaign buttons that had 3E written on it, which stood for the Third Encore, to the most beautiful women they could find, by the hundreds, and say, the Eagles want you to come to this private party. It's upstairs at this suite, blah, 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 blah. And so by the time we finished and got off stage and jumped in the car and went back to the hotel, got to the room, showered, and then went down to the suite, which was furnished with champagne and hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and all sorts of other party supplements.
It's like the greatest bar mitzvah ever.
It would be wall-to-wall with women that were just dying to meet you.
Wow.
And whose idea was that? Because that person should have been a full partner.
He was.
Yeah.
It wasn't my idea.
That should be a third partner, just the Third Encore guy. And I love that there was a name, the Third Encore. I mean, it's brilliant. That guy's a genius.
Yes.
Screw Hotel California. And the women would be there and throw themselves. How long were you able to resist? Because you were married. Was there a period of time, like a couple of months?
No, I was just ravaged with guilt during it all. I mean, to the point where, the nights that I was really high or really drunk, really bored. I don't know if you spend a lot of time on the road, but you spend.
I spend a lot of time in my house.
You spend 2 or 3 hours on stage, and then the rest of the time, 20 or 21 hours, you're just sitting around with nothing to do, and you find all sorts of horrible things to do, whether it's drugs or alcohol. Or Walsh and I, God bless him, one of
Joe
my
Walsh.
favorite guy. He was
Joe.
my comic relief. I just loved the man. He and I would get into all sorts of things.
You know what's amazing? Joe Walsh, to me, is one of the most talented guys. He was in the James Gang, wrote great songs. He joined the Eagles, and now, and he's not a full partner in the Eagles.
No, he's not.
No, he is. In other words, they pay him well, I guess. He has a deal with them where if he goes on tour with them, he gets paid.
Right.
If they make an album, he gets paid. He gets paid by those 2 guys.
That's how I understand it. Yes.
Right. It wasn't like your deal where you were a full partner. And yet, I'm always surprised that Joe Walsh put up with that, because wasn't he too responsible for giving them more of a rock image and that? And they control him so much that he was not even allowed to dance on stage, right? They would tell him no
Joe
dancing
and I used to dance on stage during all they want to do is dance.
Right.
And we would get together and play these guitars and dance and just kind of hammer around on the camera.
It's fun.
And Henley would say he didn't like the camera being
moving
on
away
us.
from him. Yeah.
Right.
So we were a distraction from the Don Henley show, and so we were reprimanded. So we literally started standing almost with our feet nailed down to the floor on that
And
song.
you were probably like, well, I'm being reprimanded, but I have just as much say in this band as the other guys.
You bet, absolutely.
I mean, that's got to drive you nuts.
Yeah, I was castigated one night for wearing the wrong color shoes on stage.
Do you think it was because you were sucking away? Because I find when I watch an Eagles performance, I always like to watch Joe Walsh because he was always a little bit out of control.
He's animated.
And now he's Robo-Joe.
Yeah. I used to do, in high school, I used to do an impression of him with Hotel California.
With the faces.
For my
and
friends. It was like, we'd be, a little drunk, And when you and him are together doing the solo at the end, I could do the...
Those weird
faces that Joe.
That's perfect.
But as much
the
as you
chemistry between you 2 guys was hilarious.
Right. Yeah. But you see, it was too much for these other 2 guys.
Yes, the egomaniacs.
They couldn't handle it.
Yeah, the issues really came down to greed, power, and control. And
what
those
do you
are
think
ugly things.
as a corporation, the Eagles Corporation, T-shirts, concert tickets,
Huge.
albums. What are we talking?
Billions of
dollars.
Wow.
And you know that because you
were a part of it.
You were a part.
But you thought that the books were being cooked, and you sued to get more money, right?
Well, no. What happened was I started asking questions, and I started getting these kind of sandbag answers.
Mm-hmm.
And as CFO, I thought that I should have the right to at least see what's going on.
We're
How much
talking
money are we making?
We're talking billions
Where are
of
the
dollars.
expenses going? What's happening? What kind of deals are you guys making for records or touring? Or hey, what's going on,
You're a
partners?
partner. Yeah.
Right.
And so my lawyer started asking these questions since we couldn't get any answers directly.
Mm-hmm.
And after he submitted, even though we had been promised in contracts along the way that they would provide us this information, his last letter was sent saying, hey, you promised us to give us this information. When do we get it? And the next day I got a phone call saying I was fired.
How can you be fired? You're a partner.
Well, that's the point. So if you're a shareholder in a corporation, if if you own or have a position where you work for the corporation, they can remove you from that job. But
so
they can't.
You were fired. The guys didn't even come and say to you.
They didn't talk to me at all.
They wouldn't talk to you because you dared to ask questions about your share.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
So you did sue.
That's right. It was the only way that we even spoke to them and said, hey, you leave us with no resort other than to file this litigation. We don't want to do this. Believe me, I've never been in a lawsuit with anybody, and I hope I'm never in another one in my whole life.
How long did the lawsuit take?
6.5 years.
And I presume you won and got hundreds of millions of dollars.
We settled.
You settled?
Yes.
Why did you settle?
Well,
if you settled, you got tens of millions of dollars.
Well, in that settlement, there's a non-disclosure confidentiality agreement that I can't discuss the intimate details of it. Although I'd like to.
But I would imagine you're still a partner business-wise with these Eagles.
I can't discuss that.
You can't even say that. But
because I need to know now. When they're on stage, are they working for you?
I can't discuss.
Well,
that.
they play Hotel California. They close every night with Hotel California, and it's a big part of the show.
Thank God you made that deal where you were in writing a full partner.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would have been screwed.
Absolutely,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not very rock and roll, is it?
Being screwed in the music business?
Yeah.
It's historic. Everybody gets screwed. Either the record company screwed you, or the manager screwed you.
But this is your bandmate screwing you.
Yeah, that's especially, the irony of it is I think Don Henley was the head of Coalition for Artist Rights.
Wow. But let me ask you were
which is a bit hypocritical.
You were even upset with Joe Walsh. You felt when you got thrown out of the band, he would have stuck up for you more.
Well, yeah, I called Joe right after I got the phone call, and Joe and I had been, literally, I drove him to rehab. I, put him in my car and took him there and did everything.
By the way, everybody drove Joe to rehab.
Oh, they did?
That wasn't a big deal.
Not everybody got him to go in.
Well,
go ahead. Yeah.
I only had me and Joe in my car.
I'm just joking. Yes. And so you say you were so close with him, and then you call him up and say, Joe, I just got thrown out of the Eagles. Let's go in there and tell those guys off.
Yeah, well, it put Joe in a really difficult situation. I mean, you were talking about the control they have over him.
Yeah.
And he would have had to make a decision to put himself in a position where his neck was in the guillotine as well, along with mine, or just kind of step back and go, I'm sorry this happened, is kind of what he did.
So he did. He remained silent. And
Yes,
were you
he
angry
did.
with him at that time?
I wasn't angry. I was more hurt than I was angry.
But you
I really
can
felt
understand, he didn't have that protection.
He didn't have the protection. He didn't have the power. As a matter of fact, in my inquisitions, I was really asking not only for my benefit of what was going on, but for Joe and Timothy as well. They had no right to ask for anything, and had not asked for anything.
I mean, I'm sure whatever Joe gets paid is a nice paycheck, but it's a paycheck. It is not ownership.
That's right.
But if he writes a song,
he owns the
he owns
publishing
something, I guess.
right?
But who knows?
Or is it
Maybe
like working for the telephone company? Anything you discover, it belongs to us.
I don't know right now what exactly Joe's deal is with them.
Right.
I can't discuss.
Well, they have an
Eagles. In your non-disclosure, what about writing the book, though? Didn't they say to you, you are not allowed to write a book or talk about us or anything like that?
Well, that was their countersuit. And then the last contract we signed, what we would do is we would sign these ongoing contracts for every tour we did. Say, okay, we're going to do this and end this. And the last couple of contracts we signed, they put in this thing that said, nobody can do press or radio or newsprint or write a book or anything without the express written consent of Henley and Fry. Huh. In other words, you couldn't open your mouth unless they said it was okay.
Wow, that's
but the term of those agreements were only for the tour.
I see. But why write the book? In other words, you're a wealthy man. You have more money than you'll ever need.
Let's go back to where I was when I was terminated. I'd gone through a really long, difficult time divorce with my wife, 29 years.
So half the money went out the window.
Well, I didn't care about that. My heart went out the window is what really mattered. So I'm sitting in a really dark place,
Right.
And so I started doing a lot of meditation. And while I would meditate, I kept reliving how I had gotten from that little dirt road in the South to where I was right now, having gone through all the steps along the way. Yeah, everything that I'd done. So finally, I sat down at this computer and I started writing this stuff down. Not with the intent of writing a book, but just more self-therapeutic than anything, cathartic.
Like a journal,
to just kind of start looking at myself and understanding more clearly, mentally and emotionally, what had happened to me. Finally, I realized I've got hundreds of pages of this stuff, and my fiance said, you should write a book about this. And I went, that's not a bad idea.
You're a creative guy. You're looking for creative outlets.
But I didn't do it with any sort of like sword in hand to decapitate people or show anybody for their warts or anything, because we all have warts and stuff in our lives.
But I'm sure Fry and Henley hate this book.
Well, I don't know. I've only heard from their lawyers. I've never heard from them.
That means they hate it. The lawyers don't call and say, God, great book.
So you have a son from your first marriage. Was he angry with you? Didn't you have a son as well from your first marriage?
Yeah, I have 4 kids from
you
my
have 4
first marriage.
kids.
Yes,
Were they angry with you over the divorce? Were you the bad guy?
Yeah, originally, yeah. When the reason I stayed was for my kids.
Right.
I was there for about 8 to 10 years, longer than I thought I should have been. And bless my wife. We're still great friends. We talk every couple of weeks on the phone. She comes to my house for Thanksgiving dinner. We're beyond all that anger. We've got kids, grandkids together.
Right.
We have hundreds of friends we share. We see each other at parties. So, why throw a relationship like that that's been so long and so great away?
For all the coke and everything, you look amazingly well. I mean, you're
kind of cute too, Howard.
How old are you now? I mean, seriously, how old are you now?
Do I have to say on the air?
Sure,
okay.
go ahead.
I'm 60. I'll be 61 in September.
Wow, you look terrific.
Wow, see all these guys who turning 60.
How old's the fiance? But she's a youngster, huh?
She's 42.
All right, that's nice.
She'll kill me for that.
Where'd you meet her? Is she hot?
Yeah, she's beautiful. She was Miss Niagara. She's Canadian and was runner-up to Miss.
Cool.
It's in the book. There's a photograph in the book.
Naked or clothed?
No, not. I'm the only one I think lately that's seen her naked. I hope. Although I am out of town,
What a shame that here you make such great music with those guys, and it'll never be again. You can't work with those guys. They just made it impossible.
You never say never.
You say, yeah, that's
true. Well, you
true.
did do a reunion
in '94.
In
yeah,
94.
We were back together in '94.
How was that?
Well, that was it was separatist, segregated.
There was no communication during that?
Very little. As a matter of fact, everybody went in separate cars to the show. We had separate dressing rooms backstage. As soon as the last note was off, we scattered.
Didn't you say at one point?
Nobody wanted to be in the same room.
I saw you guys at Giant Stadium.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
And it was a great concert, but, it just... Do you still talk to Joe Walsh? Is that
I would love to. I've reached out to Joe many times, and, I think he's in a really difficult position to be able to have a relationship.
They might think he's a traitor if he's talking.
So when's the last time you spoke to him?
At a deposition about 3 years ago. I gave him a big hug, and I apologized for having to have him come and do that. And, it's just awful.
Hey, man,
did he understand that you had to do? He did.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, we even ran into that control thing. Remember, Joe came in, and what song did he do?
Desperado. He sang it.
Don
Henley went berserk. He said he didn't want Joe performing that by himself on our show.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble.
Joe actually used to play Life in the Fast Lane in his solo gig, and Henley came out and said, "Accept no substitutes." And so I felt like saying that when they go out and play Hotel California. I felt like saying, "Hey, Don, accept no substitutes." But
were you shocked that they named the album Hotel California? Because after all, it was your song.
I was shocked when we finished it, the whole album. We had sat and listened to the playback party, where everybody's there and the record company execs are there. We were in the record plant in L.A. and we're playing it back. And when we finished, Hotel California was like the last one on the cut, not the beginning on the of the record. It was the last one on the playback reel. And Henley turned around and went, "That's going to be our single." And I went, "Oh no, you got to be kidding!" It's 6 minutes long. It's slow. You can't dance to it. So everybody wanted like rock and roll and disco and R&B. It's got this, it breaks down in the middle where the tempo stops, and it's got this 2-minute guitar solo.
So you felt pressure instead of pride.
It's the wrong format.
Right.
Oh, hey, if you do enough of the right drugs, you could dance to that. Believe me, I've done it.
You've done it.
Can I ask one thing? In that Hotel California video, a couple of things. It's amazing just how different you look. That the long hair you had and the beard and the flannel and everything. I mean, and you look better now, I think.
Oh, well, thank you.
But
coming on to you.
You got the double guitar going.
Yeah.
And Joe's next to you with the single guitar.
Right.
And like one thing, I mean, me and my friends were big Eagles fans. The one thing we always thought was you really looked so pissed off at each other. Besides that one moment, like you You look like you just had a voice like a look like I don't give a shit anymore. By that point, had you had it by the time you made that video?
No, not there. I mean, Joe and I used to really push each other to the edge playing wise. I mean, it was like
so. It wasn't a look of anger.
No, it wasn't a look of anger.
It was intensity.
It was intensity. Yeah, it's like we got our game face on. We're kind of going for it.
Right, you're very much into it.
Yeah, that's why when you look at Joe, he's really intense. He's into it, and then I say, "You're showing."
But you said one time, one show that you did, it got so bad between Henley and Fry that they had to turn off all the microphones because you could hear the yelling and screaming.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have been at that show.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love shows like that.
Yeah.
Also,
one thing, when we talk about songs that you can make a living off of, how much money has that song made?
Generated?
Not enough.
Not enough, huh?
Really?
But you never have to work
it's made
again.
a lot. Yeah.
Because you can't get away from. It's everywhere.
How crazy did the sex get? Did you and Joe Walsh? Did
You and Joe Walsh had sex?
No. Did you and Joe Walsh ever bang a chick together? Did you ever double team someone?
No.
Never did.
Not that I can remember.
Well, you know what?
But Joe used to chainsaw hotels.
He did.
He would really do all that
He
stuff.
did. He had an electric chainsaw because the gasoline power ones made too much noise. You could hear him coming.
He had an electric.
But the electric one, you just hear the blade coming through the walls.
Oh my God.
Why would he do that? Why would he destroy property like that?
Well, it was comic relief is what it was. Like I said, you got 22 hours of sitting around with nothing to do in some hotel in Boise,
but the
Idaho.
poor manager of the hotel probably said, "Oh my God, this guy just." I mean, I'm sure you had to pay for it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Came out of your
but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
I also read that
we had some of the greatest times together, trashing hotel rooms and hanging out.
I read that one of Joe Walsh's best friends was Keith Moon. Right, he hung out with him a lot, so that's probably where he got some of that behavior from.
Absolutely, yeah.
Don Felder's book, by the way, we should mention, is called Heaven and Hell, My Life in the Eagles, and it's available in stores now, and as Gary and Artie can attest to, it is a fascinating book.
Well, you know what? I'm wondering
if
he gets into the sexual or whatever escapades of some of the other members of the band. Because the other day I was talking to somebody, and they just kept saying they apparently had some private knowledge of Don Henley, and they just kept saying to me, he's a freak, he's a freak.
Is Henley a freak?
Oh, I can't really comment on that.
Who had the biggest penis? Who had the biggest penis in the Eagles?